Grab my money, run down the street to that place that I love to eat. Barbecue, yeah, barbecue. Extra hot, how I love the hate. Splash that sauce all over my shirt.
This is our What You Got Cooking segment, and I want to tell you how hard I fought to get to do this one today. Our guests are Charlie and Susan McGee. Welcome to both of you. We'll get Susan in here in a second. She's still helping get things set up. Welcome to you. And we're going to do some barbecue cooking. I mean, wow. What we're talking about here is what you call piggin' and grinnin' rib rub. Is that right?
There you go. That's right.
All right. Now you have quite a lot of experience at this.
Well, we've been doing it since May of 1990 was our first competition. We've been cooking longer than that, but our first competition was May 1990.
Now, how did you come to sort of get serious about barbecue?
Well, we grew up in the South. We grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where they have a barbecue joint on every corner. And,
is that right?
It's
well,
the original.
Memphis.
It's the original fast food. Food.
Yeah.
It was there before McDonald's, and
yeah.
so we grew up there. Enjoyed it. When we moved down to the South, we never found a restaurant that we liked, or barbecue rather that we liked.
Yeah.
So it was. And probably more accurately, it was not so much what we liked as what we were used to.
Yeah.
So it was a matter then of, well, can we make our own?
And you seriously explored that. You were saying to the point that your kids now have certain associations. And
well, our first, the way this started was I bought him a little $29 smoker, and he asked me, what did you buy that for? What am I going to do with it? So we've gone from that to a $8,000 one on a trailer. So
that's serious.
Yeah.
That's serious barbecue.
Yeah.
And the kids enjoyed this? I mean, they thought it was a good experience?
They liked it at the beginning of the summer, and by the end of the summer, they didn't want to come home. It's more barbecue.
No more barbecue.
But now,
I can't believe that.
Now that they don't live at home, when we go, that's what they want. Bring barbecue when you come.
Well, of course, because you have become so absolutely accomplished. I mean, you have recreated what it was you left behind in the South. I mean, you do it now. All right. Demonstrate for us, if you would. What are the steps here that people should know?
Well, we're going to do ribs today, and I've got 2 slabs of ribs. This is a baby back rib, and this is a spare rib. Wow. And the baby back rib sits up a little higher on the hog. It tends to be, this meat here is part of the loin, and this most people prefer.
Yeah.
Because it's more lean, it's a little better quality meat.
A lot of meat there. Boy,
in fact, this one's so pretty, you almost hate to cook it. It looks pretty good the way it is.
But that wouldn't stop you, would it?
No,
okay.
No, not at all.
I don't want to talk you into anything or out of anything.
No.
All right.
And actually, you can't get, or I've never seen ribs like this in a grocery store. You have to go to a butcher. I buy mine at a little place in Watervliet, Michigan called Sprague's, and they cut these beautifully, and they're always superb quality and superb cuts of meat. My preference is for the spare ribs. They're more fat on them than the baby backs, but that's why I like them, because I think they're more flavorful than the baby backs. So when I cook them for me, I like the spare ribs.
Good tip, though. Maybe you need to go to a good butcher, a good some kind of good meat market or something
you cannot
get the best cut.
Overestimate the value of a good butcher.
Excellent.
So we'll do the baby backs.
All right.
Because they're the easiest to do, and there's on both the baby backs and the spare ribs, there's a membrane on the back. So the first thing I do is take that membrane off.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty easy to do, especially on the baby backs. That'll come right up.
Well, it really does.
And that's about all there is to it. Now, the other thing that I do is the Baron of Barbecue. His name is Paul Kirk. He's a professional chef. He was
the Baron of
Barbecue. That's what he called himself. And what he told me was, don't leave anything on that you wouldn't want to eat. Don't serve it to somebody else. So one of the tricks that I use is I'll go through the backs of the ribs with the butter knife and just take off any excess fat. Okay? Yeah. You can't take off too much fat because pork has just naturally got plenty of fat. So I don't worry about taking off too much.
Yeah. Susan, did you have to teach him some of this, or did he just sort of pick it up?
Well, he couldn't find spoons in the drawer when we first started. But,
oh, okay.
Don't tell everything you know.
This is his rub. He mixed it up, his barbecue sauce, but I have to tell him to measure.
And okay, that's good. I think that's important that you're there. I mean, so this works out. I mean,
And then typically on the front side, there's not too much to trim on baby backs. Like I said, there's not quite as much fat, but you might take off a little bit of excess.
Because some people just might not enjoy that. Right. I mean, I got to admit, I don't mind a little fat on mine.
But now on a spare rib, on the end here like that, you have quite a bit of fat. Yeah. Well, that looks like pretty good meat. Underneath there, it's really a very thin piece of meat with a lot of fat underneath it. So I tend to cut the whole thing off.
Okay, we got about 5 minutes left. We doing okay?
Yep.
We got time? Okay.
So what we'll do...
I want to cut you short here.
Nope, I won't do these just the way I did that, but basically it's the same way.
Yeah.
Take this skin off, and I'll use
all of that off.
And I'll use the butter knife, and I'll get all of the excess fat off the back, and you can see again compared to the baby backs. And then this flap here, I'll take that off. Okay.
All right.
So once that's scraped, it's what I call peeled on the back.
Yeah.
Then we come through with a rub.
Now, now talk about the rub. What's in that? What's in that little bottle right there?
That has kosher salt, cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, sugar, black pepper, and I think that's all.
How did you come up with the formula for that?
Chili powder.
Chili. Oh man.
How did I come up with that? It was
extensive experimentation, or
no, actually,
no?
I like this rub, but I've never competed with this rub, which is why I'm willing to share it, is because I've never competed with it. But I do like it.
Something we weren't going to learn today.
I like it, but it's not what I would call championship world-class quality.
Okay.
But it's good. It's very, very good.
But it works. Yeah. Okay.
So you want to put it on and be very, very generous, and rub it in by hand. The pork likes to have it done by hand. It just does. I don't know what it is about pigs, but they like it.
I was going to say, did a pig tell you that? Or
Absolutely.
How do you learn that? See, most of us could go through life and never realize that they like to have it rubbed in like that.
They like to have it rubbed in. They like to be talked to. And I talk to it.
You talk
Don't
to
you?
I will from now on. I haven't up to this point.
And the other thing is, if you're doing a whole pig, which we do every 4th of July for the church where we go, we do a whole pig, and they like to have a name. So you talk to it on a first-name basis.
Oh, man. That's
personal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's personal.
That's the personal touch.
So you want to do both sides of these. Rub it in real good.
So you go through a fair amount of rub to get them ready. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That goes on the fire.
And this is critical. I mean, if you didn't put the rub on there, I mean, really, and make that happen. Because I think a lot of people try to do ribs without putting a whole lot of that sort of thing on. Okay, 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
No. You're exactly right.
You do the talk.
Some people, well, I mean, to talk about barbecue in general sense, barbecue to some people means anything. You put some sauce on it and put it in the oven, and that's barbecue. Well, this is smoked meat as a category of barbecue, I guess.
Yeah.
Which means that this cooks about 6 hours. It's not a quick thing. Yeah. So if you're not prepared to be in it for the long haul, then maybe the oven's okay.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Go to the end.
Okay, so we better cut to the chase here. You got it rubbed, and what happens then?
And then, well, after it's rubbed and you put it on the fire, it cooks for about 6 hours. You baste it along the way. I use a vinegar-based baste. And then at the very end, I finish it with some sauce, and that's the outcome.
And this smells incredibly good. They're looking at this brisket here that's on the cutting board. Yeah.
This is a brisket, yeah. And I brought that just because.
Well, that just seems real all-American to me. That's a lot of real meat. There's the ribs right there. And these are not warmed up at the moment, but they still smell terrific. And what barbecue sauce is good enough for you to put on your
Only
ribs?
mine is good enough for mine.
Is he going to tell me what's in that recipe?
I don't know if he can.
There is, I could tell you, but I won't.
Yeah, the competitors might be looking in, which brings me to this. We have over here a lovely trophy with some very nice ribbons. You say these ribbons all come from one competition?
Right. That was last year's Michigan State Championship. We were reserve grand champions, which is what the trophy's for. Wow. We won 1st place in ribs, and we're very proud of that. Got a 4th place in brisket and a 5th place in pork shoulder.
Congratulations. Wow. And the trophy's part of the...
That was the overall.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're just,
that's a lady, a good friend of ours from church said, hey, you need some good luck. She bought this little pig, and we sat it up on our booth, and did well. And
it's working.
Did well with it,
so this will have a place in future competitions.
Oh, absolutely. He'll go with us all the time.
Excellent. Charlie and Susan McGee, thank you so much, both of you, for coming in. Yeah, you're still gloved up. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. It smells terrific, and I think you have given us some real important tips on coming up with a little better product in our own settings here.
I hope so.
Wish you well in competitions to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbecue, red hot, through and through, so greasy. Barbecue.